Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, prayers by Queen Kunti, text number 34. Parivota. Paravataranayanyi Bhuvo Nava Ivo Dadao Siddhantya Buri Bharena Chato Yatma Bhuvartita Paravataranayanyi Bhuvanava Ivo Dadao Siddhantya Buri Bharena Chato Yatma Bhuvartita. Matajis. Just reduce the burden of the world. Anye, others. Bhuva, of the world. Navaha, boat. Eva, like. Udadao, on the sea. Siddhantya, aggrieved. Puri, extremely. Bharena, by the burden. Jataha, you were born. He, certainly. Atma Bhuva, by Brahma. Arhita, being prayed for. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Please repeat. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Purport. Brahma, or the first living being born just after the creation, is the direct son of Narayan. Narayan, as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, first of all entered the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. The principle is followed from the very beginning of the creation. The Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the first living being, Brahma, was born on a lotus flower out of the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atmabhu, because he was begotten directly from the Father without any contact of Mother Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still without contact with Lakshmiji, Narayana begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayana like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayan is not an ordinary living being. He is the personality of God in himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses and all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets a child by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget a child other than the one designed for him. But Narayan, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies, very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the Father, and was not put in the womb of a mother. Therefore he is known as Atmabhu. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Svetadweep, which is the abode of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. Trouble in the universe that can't be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consults and prays to the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problems. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling over the earth, and the earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu ocean, Kshirodaka ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. Bharavatar Rananyanye Bhuvo Nava Evo Dado Siddhantya Buri Bharena Jata Yatma Bhuvartitaha. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is very much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Namo Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatunde Ve Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskyatyade Siddharne. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Avajananti Mamhuda Manushim Dhanum Ashrityam Param Bhavam Ajanato Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. The fools, they deride me when I descend in this human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all the be. Krishna comes as a coward boy, or as a Kshatriya, son of Devaki, and Vasudeva, or the son of Nanda Maharaj, and Jashoda, and generally speaking, even when Krishna was present, people did not understand who Krishna was. Most people thought that Krishna was a powerful person, but just another person. There were many powerful persons at that time, not only Krishna, but even almost seemingly as powerful as he was, the Yadu's dynasty, they had immense power. We had Bhishma, who couldn't be killed he wouldn't die unless he desired. We had so many powerful Rakshasas, Hindimba. And so Krishna appeared to be just another powerful personality. And one may think that Krishna had come just like we come, didn't know why he came. Took him around 15 years to figure out what he was supposed to do here. And then even that, he was confused. Well, Krishna knew exactly what he was doing. Even as a baby, he killed the Rakshasi demon Putana. He killed the Shakata Asura underneath the cart. So Krishna has it quite clear. He has been doing this for a long time. He's not a newbie at the transcendental pastimes. But obviously people with our limited conceptions, we look at everything from our point of view. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, here we get an opportunity to see why Krishna comes from many points of view. Generally speaking, we're lucky if we can figure out one purpose for what we're doing. And what to speak of fulfilling that purpose. At the end of the day, if we chant our 16 rounds and heard the Hare Krishna mantra a few times, we think we're exalted personalities. And when Krishna comes and lifts Govardhan Hill with one little finger, the Asuras, they'll see it in a different way. Kamsa said, who is this boy? To Akrura in the Nectar of Devotion. He says, who is this boy Krishna? You claim he's the Supreme Lord just because he lifted one pebble called Govardhan Hill. You say he's so powerful just because he defeated one harmless water snake, Kaliya serpent. If you don't love someone, then no matter what they do, it's seen as insignificant. Matter of fact, the more you do, the more they do, the more you become envious of them. When they fail, that's when you become appreciative. Oh, they finally got what they deserve. God is kind. So this type of envious attitude is what Krishna begins the 9th chapter with. Before he just says, I'm God, I've just come as, I look ordinary, but actually I'm controlling the universe, the material and the spiritual universes. I'm controlling the infinite and the finite. He doesn't just come out and say that, because no one would believe him anyhow. And even after he says that, who believes him? Who cares? Oh, big deal. So you're controlling the infinite and the finite. Anything else you do? We're not impressed so much. Therefore Krishna says, Idam tu te guyatamam pravaksham anushuyave jnanam vijnana sayitam yajgyatva moksha se shubhat. Because you're never envious of me, anusuyave. This is our disease in the material world. We're envious of everyone. Even if a little bug bites us, we become very angry and want to smash it. How dare you try to attack the deity? So what to speak of a little bug we're envious of? When Krishna arranges to some inconvenience in our lives, we're thinking, why should I worship you now, you rascal? Look what you've done to me. Aren't you ashamed? You're God and you're doing this to me. Mother Yasoda should give you up. You haven't been raised properly by her. So Krishna said, Anusuyave, and this is the very beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharmak prayojita kaitavatra paramom nirmatsaranam satam nirmatsaranam, enviousness, inimical. That the Srimad Bhagavatam kicks away Dharmak prayojita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam, this envious attitude. And, of course, we're not just trying to give up an envious attitude towards everyone we look at, everyone we hear about, but we're also trying to develop an appreciative attitude. And therefore, we should be careful about who we associate with. Because if we give up our envious attitude towards the wrong people and appreciate them, then we'll become even more envious. Because generally speaking, everyone in the material world is working to become the best, and they're envious of anyone who's above them. Otherwise, why do people work hard to become the best, unless they're envious of the person who's one step above them? It may be seemingly always a loving envy. They're appreciating. But that's because that's our nature, is to appreciate. We can appreciate Krishna, and we can appreciate Krishna's devotees, or we can appreciate the people who are envious of Krishna and envious of Krishna's devotees. And when we appreciate them, which is 99.99% of the world, when we appreciate them, oh, they're doing so fantastic, look at how they're the champions of chess, or they're champions of some sport, or they're famous musicians or whatever. But what is this famous musician? He's playing, and he thinks, Krishna may have a flute if he knows about Krishna, but I have a guitar. Look how many people are worshiping Krishna in the Hare Krishna temple. How many beautiful women are falling at their feet. How many people can hear even Krishna's music? He has a flute in the temple, but no, he never makes a sound. But when I play on my guitar, people just fall all over at my feet. So who's better? Krishna is better or I'm better? Oh, you're better. Let me surrender to you. And then when we listen, yeah, you're better. Why should I listen to someone as, old-fashioned as Prabhupada crying and singing? So this is prevalent even amongst the devotees. We have Ramachandra Puri, the disciple of Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri actually, the disciple of Ishvara Puri, a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, chanting in ecstasy at the time of leaving his body, feeling separation from Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, crying in separation, and his disciple Ramachandra Puri comes and says, Guru Maharaj, don't lament at your time of death. It's very inauspicious. Think of Brahman. So envious of his spiritual master, not understanding anything what he was doing, most exalted spiritual master in the universe, and he's telling him to think about Brahman. He's trying to educate his spiritual master to stop crying in ecstasy at his separation from Krishna. Instead, think of Brahman. So Madhavendra Ishvara Puri's response was, get out of my sight, you rascal. If I see your face at the time I leave my body, I won't obtain my desired destination. So we're walking around with these conceptions in our mind of what's going on, but they may not be the proper conception. So we can work on that. But unless we realize we should work on it, how are we going to make any progress at all? Why will Krishna come? And we think, why are you going to come, Krishna? If you come, you're going to spoil my material life. I have a plan to take shelter of you so that you can help me in my material agenda. And I really appreciate when you help me. Whatever you do to help me in my material agenda, I really appreciate you. And when I don't need you, I don't need you. So why should I even think about you? So why should Krishna come? Brahma is praying for him to come because he's seeing there's a problem in the world, and we're seeing there's just a problem in my own particular life, and I only invite Krishna to come when I think he's going to solve my problem. And when he says, my problem is solved today, Krishna, you can go away. I won't bother you today. I'll call you tomorrow. Or worse, I love Krishna, I think about him all the time. I can prove it. I come every other year to Janmashtami to celebrate his appearance day. Shows how devoted I am. I even bring him a little gift. I remember one devotee, went to a temple, a sannyasi, and the other sannyasi was running the temple there. He said, yeah, he came and stayed a whole week at my temple, and when he left, he gave me a gift. A roll of toilet paper. That's how much he appreciated the stay. So we may be one up on that, but we may not be too far up on that. So therefore Krishna says, Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pravaksha Vargamam Dharmam Susukam Kartum Avyam. That this devotional service to me is not something ordinary. You may think it's just another activity to get what I want in this world. But he said, actually, if you discover what devotional service really is, it's on a different platform of existence. It's Raja Vidya. It's the king of knowledge. There's nothing higher. This is the only scientific knowledge in the whole universe. Everything else is more or less different degrees of mental speculation, including all the great literatures of the world, all the different religious scriptures. They're all, some have some truth in it, but very little actually that's worth even reading about. For the common person, they may be valuable, but if one understands that I'm not this body, then that surpasses, that knowledge surpasses practically all the scriptures, because then, of course, even we understand a little bit that we're not this body, still we need a little morality sometimes. Sometimes, just like Krishna with the Yadu dynasty, Krishna had the Moksha Lila, what I think it's called Moksha Lila, because they were thinking we are descendants of Krishna, we're his sons, we're all his relatives, and we can do whatever we want, and everything's going to be all right, because Krishna will protect us. So Krishna did protect them. He got rid of all of them. That's how he protected them. He had them fight with each other and kill each other so they wouldn't get into trouble after he left. So we can see that in our movement. Sometimes devotees, children are born into our movement, Gurukul students, and they think that we were born in devotee families, we're yoga brashtas, we've reached the perfection. And we can do whatever we want now. We can take intoxication, run after the same or opposite sex. And then we just sit down and do a little bhajan and everything's all right. Because we're devotees. We're born in devotee families. Therefore, we're pure devotees from our birth. I don't want to speculate where their next lifetime is going to be, but it may not be in the spiritual world. Krishna may not be as impressed by their birth as they are. It's called sin on the strength of chanting. In any case, we have to be alert for that too. When we think, I'm a devotee, Krishna has come, whenever I want him, I just pick up my beads and say Hare Krishna. When things get really bad, I even start believing Krishna can help me. But that's not the only reason why we should try to understand why we would want Krishna to, why would we want to associate with Krishna? Because this is science. We're eternal, and Krishna can help us. He's the guide within our heart. He's also eternal. If we think Krishna is ordinary, we may also think that Paramatma is ordinary also. Big deal, so he has a little magic. He can expand himself in everyone's heart. And he's listening to me. I don't know if that's a good idea for him to listen to me. He's watching me. He's a spy. He's keeping the score. So I'll do a little pious activities, so I'll give a little charity, so that in my next lifetime, I'm guaranteed also, like King Nriga. He was guaranteed that he was going to go to the heavenly planets and enjoy unlimitedly. Unfortunately, he committed one little mistake, and he became a lizard. But that was his misfortune. On the other hand, I'm much better than King Nriga, because I'm chanting Hare Krišna. And even if I've committed a few mistakes, Krishna is very merciful. He's still going to send me to the heavenly planets. Maybe, he'll probably do that, but we might have to spend a little time in the bottom of a well also as a lizard. Like King Nriga, we commit too many mistakes. Therefore, we should appreciate the Krishna in our heart, and even only out of fear, we should follow his directions, because this is a very dangerous place we're living in. Luckily, Krishna is giving us some chance to realize our mistakes, because if he told us, as Prabhupada once said about Lord Jagannath, if I told you all the different rules and regulations you had to follow to serve Lord Jagannath, then you'd faint. He said, therefore, Lord Jagannath is, we ask you to worship Lord Jagannath. He's 80% tolerant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even more tolerant. That's why we have Panchatattva. He's actually happy just that we were there, whatever, Somehow or another, he's so appreciative. He can find something good. Even the biggest rascal, he can find something good. But we shouldn't take advantage of that and think now I can do all nonsense, because Srimati Radharani also, out of mercy, they'll correct us. If he's practically 100%, almost 99.9% merciful, and we're having problems, imagine how much rascals we must be. Even the most merciful Lord has to put us into difficulty just to get out of our rascaldom. And therefore, how much, if we do get out of our rascaldom, how much mercy he's actually going to show us. Even trying to make a little advancement, how much he'll come. So Brahma is praying for him. He really wants him to come to help the universe. So we should at least pray to Krishna to come and help us. Then we can think about the universe later. But that's all right. If as much as Krishna actually comes and helps us, then we can understand that this would be beneficial for others also. So whether he came because of Brahma's prayers, or in the previous verse, he came that Devasi and Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for his appearance day, before his appearance, to help the demigods, and that it will go on. He prayed, he came to rejuvenate the devotional service by hearing and chanting, show your pastimes. So Krishna has multiple reasons to come, because whoever he comes, he tries to satisfy everyone. That's why when Krishna walked into the arena to battle against Mushtika, Chanura, Toshala, the wrestlers against Kamsa, the Kamsa's wrestlers, Krishna and Balaram entered into the arena of wrestling. And everyone saw him completely differently. Exactly according to how their, whatever relationship they had with Krishna, Krishna appeared to them like that. That's called Daksha. He's so expert. When Devaki and Vasudeva saw him, Jasoda, of course she wasn't there, but I guess Nanda Maharaj, they saw him as an innocent cowherd boy. Even women in this age, even women, when they have their child, even the child's 50 years old, they still see him as a little boy, a little child. I remember I was 60 years old and I was home with my mother, and she goes, "So, when are you going to get married?" So, Mother Jasoda, just Devaki, Vasudeva, they always saw Krishna as a little baby. They couldn't see him anything else. So when he walked into the arena, that's how they saw him. The wrestlers saw him as a thunderbolt. The kings there, they saw him as the most magnificent ruler. The cowherd boys saw him as their best friend. The ladies saw him as Cupid personified. And the foolish, they saw him as the universal form, as a fool like they were. So everyone's seeing everything differently according to their own conceptions. So that actually means that not only Krishna personally comes and can manifest himself in different ways to different persons, he can manifest the whole universe differently for us. Therefore, it's said in the one great devotee praise that Kaivaya Narakayate Tridasha Purakasha Pushpayate. That for a devotee, this Brahman, which the impersonalists and the yogis are trying to merge into, they see it as hell. They see it as salvation, and the devotee sees it as hell. The demigods, which think that they're enjoying life unlimitedly in this heavenly planet, the devotees see it as just like a pushpayate, akasha pushpayate, a flower in the sky. Except when the devotees throw flowers. Have you ever seen a flower growing in the sky? There's no such thing as flowers in the sky. It's an imagination. If you see flowers in the sky, sit down, take some rest. Or stop eating that plant. Duradante patala prokati damstrayate. And the goal of the yogi is to control their senses so that they're situated in Brahman and develop yoga powers. The devotee doesn't have to try to artificially try to restrain the senses from the objects, because he has by devotional service, his material desires go away, and therefore the fang-like senses become harmless, just like a serpent with its teeth extracted. Vishva Purna Sukhayate. And they see the whole world is full of happiness. Is full of happiness. How many devotees have gone out doing Harinam and say, well, look at all these people, how happy they are. Look at the devotees, how blissful and happy they are. The whole universe is full of... So that's a different vision from most people. You read the newspaper, you see most people are reporting on what's going on, are not reporting that the whole world is full of happiness. Because they don't understand what's actually going on. They don't understand the chastisement that the material nature is giving is for people's benefit, helping them to give up their sinful activities and take shelter of Krishna. And how Krishna is awarding pious activities, trying to encourage people to follow his instructions. And Vishmapurna Sukhayate, Vidi Mahendradis Chakitayate. And he sees even these great personalities like Brahma and Shiva to be souls, exalted personalities, but even the ant is also Krishna's eternal servant. Everyone has equal opportunity. So, that's Kataksha, Bhavavayatam, Goram Evastaha. When one gets the transcendental glance, sidelong glance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then one can actually get this mercy. So we should try to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy by participating in his service. And his service is to engage in the Sankirtan movement and give that opportunity for others to do that also. That's his, then he gives us a song, then he's happy. Then he gives us a sidelong glance. Then Krishna will come into our lives in a real way, not in just a theoretical way, but he'll manifest himself in our lives in such a way that we'll realize how wonderful Krishna is, how wonderful everything he does is, how wonderful everything is, and then our what is Prabhupada he gives the word, not reluctancy, misgivings will go away. We're full of misgivings for ourselves and for everyone else, but we don't realize how perfect everything is and how we can help out Krishna's mission and make things even more perfect. Actually fulfill the goal of all the so-called suffering and enjoyment in the material world, give people eternal enjoyment. Even in the midst of their suffering, give them even more enjoyment than they do when they're not suffering. Suffering due to separation from Krishna is even more ecstatic than even being with Krishna. So that's what we have to offer. If we get it ourselves, if we accept the process, we take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mission, then the result is we'll get all benedictions and everything will be seen properly. And when we call for Krishna, it won't be for some other reason other than to serve him out of love and devotion. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Yes.
Guru Maharaj, is Lord Nityananda the most merciful, or Gauranitai, or collectively the Panchatattva would be the most merciful in the Panchatattva? Is it Nityananda?
All of them.
All of them. Collectively all of them.
They're having a competition for who's going to be there.
Thank you.
Anything else? Wala Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
Prahladananda Swami Maharaj ki jai.